John Calipari, Kentucky.
Yes.
They lost to Georgia. Georgia's not good. And I don't know. It feels like there are – we talked about this yesterday, of course, but it feels like there are people that are starting to come out of the woodwork asking for a change in leadership in that program. And I know that you don't feel that way, Jeff.
Yeah, I'm going to have a column out later today in which I will call these Big Blue Nation blowhards who are calling for his dismissal and his departure absolute morons, which is what you are if you think you want John Calipari out. I know the third SID is probably one of them because, as we talked about yesterday, he doesn't have complete access to the program. So you got to run Calipari out of town. Last time we disagreed on a Kentucky coach, he was blowing Billy Clyde Gillespie and loved Billy Clyde. And how did that work out? So listen, you're not going to do better than John Calipari. This year is a absolute shit show, but ultimately it is a kind of a throwaway year in a sense. With the pandemic, if you're going to have a year like this, have it now, right? Mm-hmm. Have it now if you're Kentucky. Bottom line is you've made some mistakes in recruiting. I think Cal's gotten a little bit lazy on the recruiting trail. I think this will absolutely wake him up, kind of like it did Rick Barnes when he got fired at Texas. When he got to Tennessee, it gave him a jolt. And I think this will do it for Cal. But again, you're not doing better than John Calipari. You're not getting Jay Wright. You tried that. You're not getting Billy Donovan. You tried.
Yeah, and I also think that it's important to note that whoever ends up coming in next is going to be the guy that is replacing Coach Cal, and that's not going to be an easy thing to do. You don't want to be the guy replacing Cal. You want to be the guy replacing the guy that replaced John Calipari. And I also think that you cannot – I'm very hesitant to say anything too negative about any college basketball coaches that do not have great seasons this season in the middle of a pandemic, dealing with everything that they're dealing with, the mental health strains, the everything else that's going on this year. Like, I just don't think that it's fair to really punish these guys all that much. It's the same thing with the people that are out there criticizing Mike White and saying that Mike White probably shouldn't be coaching at Florida anymore. Well, you know what? As rough as it was this season for Mike White, and as much of a difficult time, and we lost Jeff here, so hopefully he'll be back at some point. If he's not, that's probably a better stream for you because no one really wants to hear him talk. He is one of a kind. Let's just put it like that. Here he is. He's back. All right. So I was just saying, like, it's very difficult for me to criticize coaches too much in a year like this, especially someone like a Mike White. There are people that are calling for Mike White to be fired, and he's going through it. And obviously, what Coach Cal has dealt with this season is not the same as what Mike White has been dealing with. But again, I mentioned this yesterday. John Calipari, in addition to everything going on with the pandemic and everything going on with trying to rebuild a team that is not as good as he thought it was going to be, everything going on with the fact that he never had a chance to really grow this team as a team, to do the team bonding, to do all that stuff in the preseason, get them to know each other, get them to learn his system. He's dealing with the grief of a former player that died a week ago, right? All while everything is kind of swirling around him because he took a knee with his players. So I'm inclined to allow John Calipari to have one bad season. I think he's done enough to be able to survive one bad season. And if he's 4-9 at this point in 2021-22, then yes, then maybe we can have a conversation about, okay, Cal might have lost it. Maybe he's not the right guy for the job. Okay. Maybe the best thing to do is kind of move on and part ways. But one bad year in the middle of everything that's going on right now, no, don't overreact.
Right.
Don't overreact.
Don't overthink this. Again, I don't know how much cut out before I cut out, but you missed on enough guys last time around. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Mark Few's not coming. Tony Bennett's not coming. Billy Donovan's not coming. Jay Wright's not coming. So who are you getting? I mean, again, we've discussed this. Scott Drew, maybe. And if you think Scott Drew's a better coach than Cal, I'm okay with that. He's done an unbelievable job at Baylor. I think he'd fit in a lot of reasons in Lexington, Kentucky. But why would you run out John? Like it makes no sense. It's overthinking this thing. Again, they made some mistakes. Like, forget about the pandemic and all that. You can tell they made some mistakes with some of these players evaluating. They're not getting the elite of the elite anymore. That's the difference to me. Is like Anthony Davis won him a title. Well, he was the best player in America.
Yep.
You didn't get Cade Cunningham. If you put Cade Cunningham on this team right now in place of Devin Askew, instead of 4-9, Rob, they're 9-4. They're 9-4.
I mean, they might be better. I think you can make the argument that the pieces around Cade right now on Oklahoma State are not as good as the pieces around that would have been around him at Kentucky this year. And I think that it's also fair to say that Oklahoma State is probably a better team than Kentucky is right now. And a lot of that has to do with Cade, yes, but I mean, your point very much holds up. And also, like, one last thing, we're not saying like that Kentucky fans shouldn't be upset, or there shouldn't be a level of expectation, or there should, like, you should absolutely, like, if you want to feel like this is Kentucky, we don't go 4-9, you are absolutely allowed to feel that way. That said, before you fire the guy that like brought this program back from what Billy Clyde Gillespie did to it, maybe you want to give him like a year's window. Maybe you want to let him have like one bad year.
You ran out Tubby Smith because he couldn't recruit at a high level. Okay. Calipari's doing that. I know people think, well, he'd rather have guys in the NBA than win games. That's stupid. Of course he'd rather win games and win a championship than put guys.
There it is. We could lose the stream. You could fall out of the stream, and it's not going to stop the notifications from going off in the middle of it. It's something that is more consistent than a few good men on a rainy Sunday afternoon.
Next time you quote John Rothstein, I will never come on here again.